Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today we are supposed to receive a decision from the AUC on the fate of the Heartland transmission line. Last week, the Energy Minister halted 3 major lines, including Heartland. However, the Premier overruled him and said she wanted Heartland to proceed because she believes it's critical infrastructure. This blatant political interference destroys any credibility this process has left. To the Premier, will she admit that it was inappropriate for her as the Premier to declare the Heartland line critical 3 days before the AUC decision?
The Honourable the Premier.
Mr. Speaker, for 8 months I've said that I believe that the Heartland transmission line was critical. The AUC has undertaken their process. It's an independent process. They'll release their decision. I'm looking forward to seeing that decision. It's entirely appropriate for them to do that. I expect that if the AUC was in any way concerned about the compromising of their independence, they'd have commented on it, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable member.
Well, given that the AUC is now delaying their release of their decision for a week because of the Premier, and given that Albertans always wonder whether this decision is being changed to suit her declaration that it should go ahead, will she apologize to the AUC and Albertans for her lack of judgment and inappropriate interference?
The Honourable the Premier.
Mr. Speaker, one of the things that's quite important and quite disappointing in political debate right now in Alberta is that whenever political parties think they can make a political point, they undermine the integrity of independent institutions, and we're not going to do that, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable member.
Mr. Speaker, she's the one who's underlining it.
Yes.
But again to the Premier, given that you refuse to answer my questions and do the right thing, let's get to the root of the issue, Bill 50, and the sweeping power that it gives the Premier and your Cabinet. Will you repeal this legislation and reinstate a truly qualified, independent and objective needs assessment for determining our transmission needs?
The Honourable.
Mr. Speaker, we've said that the Heartland line was critical. We've also said, and we believe on this side of the House, that it's important to review the economic imperative of one of the north-south lines. It's going to be important to do that in order to ensure that we are making the best economic choices for Albertans, and we'll do that, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable member for Edmund Highlands Norwood.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. On July 12, 2010,